Crucial Rhythms, big up Chicago. Thank you for listening to the show every Sunday, 10 to midnight. DJ Epik1.
What up?
Me, System 4. We get down.
System Quattro.
We usually would get a guest in the house. Today is a special day because our special guest today is going to be Pugz, and he's going to be coming through a little bit later.
For sure. Pugz is an artist from Chicago, been holding it down for a while. I seen him back in the days freestyling on the scenes, and it's a pleasure to have him in the house. And also, we're going to continue the last part 3 of the Crucial Rhythms respect to the artists that came through mix. So every artist that we've had, we're going to focus more on Army of Two tonight. Encyclopedia Brown dropped me his new stuff, the Essentials, UH. Have you heard about this album? You seen it?
No,
Him and Kenny Keys came together, dropped the album, so we got that in effect. Army of Two, I cleaned up some songs from that. More stuff to come. Big up Answer Team, big up Power Style Radio. And so with that being said, let's get into this mix while we wait for my man Pugz.
That's what's up, and I want to let you know you're listening to 88.7 WLUW, Chicago Sound Alliance, broadcasting from the campus of Loyola University.
What time is it, son?
The time is 10:04, and it's time for you to be in the mix with my man DJ Epik1 on my right.
That's the time. Yo, check it out. Crucial Rhythms, give us a call. 773-508-9589 is the number to call. That's 773-508-9589. Let us know you're in the house. Shout out to everybody who's in tune with us on the Facebook page. CrucialRhythms.com is the website to check out. With all that aside, I got some buttery hip-hop goodness ready to go. You ready to hear this, System 4?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get them in full effect. Bless you.
Thank you, man.
Hey! Bless you, man.
Yeah, it's all good.
They had their chance of blood, and now I am here for you.
That's Pugz.
Trouble that trouble or thought. Rise from the rubble with dirt. I was right all along, I know it. I was right all
Hey,
along.
flip that camera for me, that one.
Right all along, I know it. I was right all along, I know it. And I walked away into the sunset. Who would have thunk it? Pressure pushing in like fingers on a trumpet. Whether tea and crumpets, coffee or donuts dunking. Corner store hot chips with the soda or something. My kind. We always overcome it, then arrive to the summit. While many perish from it. I know since my stomach. Greatness, how much
I like this fader. Oh, perfectly on time. I'm playing your music.
Look at this shit.
Hey, set him up with the mic.
I got him. I got your.
They had their chance of blood, and now I am here for you. Trouble that trouble or thought. Rise from the rubble with dirt. I was right all along, I know it. 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 You can't run, you can't hide, you can't say tomorrow tonight. You can't run, you can't hide, you can't say tomorrow tonight. No new friends, we moving. I make my own ends, I do it. Make your own path, you rule it. Make your own path, you rule it. my son, show it. Put that on my son, show it. Put that on my son, show it. Put that on my son, put that on my son. You can't run, you can't hide, you can't say tomorrow tonight. You can't run, you can't hide, you can't say tomorrow tonight.
It's so hard.
I know, you know. The beats like 15 years in the making, man. On the same thing, right? You wrote. So serious. Saying this right here was so serious. PA, Pugz Atomz, let's get it. St. James got me at it again. Big sneakers and the bleachers, the jackets are pretty damn Southside behind us. Bury me in designers. What my way to be the door like I play for North Carolina. This beat slaps like a pimp named Streetback. Beat so cold.
Pugz Atomz in the house. This is Pugz. We're gonna get into it.
Security, giving your weed back. Thanks, bro. You needed that. Appreciate it. It's love. It's so hard, you know. You out here doing your thing, and like people don't even want to like respect, you know, the skills, man. We're live right now, you know. Brian Ford on the boards. You got Romello St. James on the beat, man. What up, Chris Craig out there? Yo, I see living it, you know. You gotta do it, right? Power to the people, and there's power in numbers. Summer 16, so many lives lost this summer. Fire hydrants open, media's all struck. That might go over your head like a channel that can buy your drug. That's how you what's over something louder than a fire truck. Low key, the game's on E. Everybody trying to get on like the Wi-Fi's free. This is dedicated to the ones that never made it. City of legends, that the fame always evaded, man. Salute to all the, you know, the lost soldiers, generals, legends that never got the fame. They don't make it possible for us.
They suffer when they hear it, bubble loud when they crank. They busted up hard right here in the paint. Not a god to the rap, not a fact, I'm a saint. Many claim they got it poppin' now, but they ain't. Many claim they got it dropping now, but they ain't.
Genius, got my music on 100.
You can put
Seems so stunning. My eyes patrol the area. Seems so cunning. Who the best? Hey, PA, run it. Everything's rhetorical, so no discussion. Please, you don't want me to push the buttons. Turned her on, walked off, and later she arrived at my loft. All of those. You so Microsoft Trace. I'm walking on the drums and the bass. Tell them turn it up, you wanna feel it in your face. I'm feeling in the place every time I grace the stage. It's star time, the constellation is here. Fresh from the lyrics to the dinner time. Yeah, I've been on my steer since 16, spitting 16s as the dams would
Laughing all
cheer.
the way with my cash to the bank. The girls see the jewels poking out, then they faint. The dudes talking ride pretty slick, no they ain't. They suffer when they hear it, bubble loud when they crank. They busted up hard right here in the paint. Not a god to the rap, not a fact, I'm a saint. Many claim they got it poppin' now, but they ain't. Many claim they got it poppin' now, but they ain't.
So many figures till they make it, I ain't even involved. The camera goes off and the things come off. Good at fiction.
Hey man, thank you for sending me the music early, dude.
Many bands, why ain't you for it at all? When I step into the gym,
Hey, pull up this bio too.
I got it all covered to a number at the bar.
So I'm getting into a little mix of yours. Let them know.
Open, my brain got me a jar. My flow golden. You good morning, baby boy. And get a double that get you out that raw situation. I'm from the Renaissance. Yes, yes, y'all. I do it all. I bring it to you like I had a weapon on y'all. When they talk, maxed out credit cards, but money talks like Woodwalk Avenue. I'ma bring it to the hook and tell you what I'm gonna
I'm laughing all the way
do.
with my cash to the bank. The girls see the jewels
world. My Pugs spits thoughts to crush a ugly girl. Cause I'm just silly studs getting beat with billy clubs for selling shitty dubs and in the city pubs. Man, we do this for the love and to make your heart stop. We excel, keep me laced up like hot tops for the way I just be riding the cliff. It's like face first down the side of a cliff. So stop talking to me, cause I don't speak bitch, but talk with my hands like there's twist while you acting like you're up, you in the pimp. You don't work corners like little fools and me. I'ma take them and leave them shaking like front lines. So think twice before contesting. You get fucked up like no hands, immaculate conception. The man of the people, newly elected. Pugs Atomz.
Let me get it going.
I think that's it.
Keep me ready though.
Chicago's toughest, who burnt the dirt like 49ers with nuggets. So if you trip, you get handled with luggage, cause I'm one of the best. And bring your words to your chest, so watch your chick, cause I know the tank burns from their nest. Let that soak as I give everyone button something to quote. Yo kid, I'm not dope, cause I can be treated in sentence. I'm deadly cause I like to bring careers to the end, and we can go written for written till your drunken courage is over. I'll come off the top like please pull over. When Pugs touch controllers, rap scream game over. Cause I came to torture soldiers and a feast on beats. I hate on streets and feast on peace. Now living right like left in the seat. But stay moving the crowd while you got up in handcuffs like defendants. So get your hands up like attendants. Perfect man and the people keeping them vintage. What y'all talking about? Pugs Atomz, man of the people. Here to show you what's real and who'll see through. It's Pugs Atomz, man of the people. Ain't no bad presidents in here to defeat. It's Pugs Atomz, man of the people. So it took the beat and it said it didn't feel. It's Pugs Atomz, man of the people. These next years are gonna be lethal.
I know, I got more songs.
Blasting that Pugs, bass, let the vibe in. My system go hard, so chicks on 10. Every team need cover when I'm rolling on the scene. Just another beat, and a pocket full of weed. So running with the time, that'll cost a little bit. My radio louder than the system in your feet. He cold, baby, popsicle. Peppin' on the stroll, baby, play music, baby. Out of control, baby, I'm super OC, baby, cops.
I got it.
Hating on ACB, baby, cause I turn up and like that to a party, baby. Looking nice with them painted on jeans, baby. Getting looks as you walking down the street, baby. Feel like a video, we on the big screen, lady. Hollywood lights, you just my type, cause there's nothing in life that I can't achieve. Let me turn it up so they can hear me.
So hard, you know, you out here doing your thing, and like people don't even want to like respect, you know, the skills, man. We're live right now, you know, bro.
Alright. Turn it off. It's still playing. Alright. Good.
There you go.
Alright, good. Alright. Crucial Rhythms 88.7 WOUW. The time is 10:18. We're in the house with Pugz Atomz. He just came through. Yo, my man, how you feeling? All right, let me see which mic sounds good. Are we gonna do 4? We're gonna do 4. Yeah, we got it, man. We got it. Yeah. The magic of microphones. So thank you for sending us new music and your bio and everything. So, yo, my man, thank you for coming through, because it's really cold tonight too, man. So, man, bearing the weather. You're a real Chicagoan, man. And speaking of being a Chicagoan, you're a genuine artist from Chicago. Some artists come here, they claim rap Chi, but you're born and bred Chicagoan. Tell us about your upbringing in Chicago, man.
And came here to do WVON. So we lived out in the hundreds, and then we moved to Inglewood. And in Inglewood, just kind of where I got into like graffiti and started throwing like rap shows at the art center there. And just really starting to meet people like Kingdom Rock and the Shot Rock Nation guys, artistic and all of them.
What year was this around?
Well, that's probably about 92. Yeah, probably about 92, man. That's like kind of like the introduction of Pugsley, because that's around the same time I decided on that name. Like I had a few names before, but that was like the year where I was like, all right, it's gonna be something with the P and the S.
Okay, and so your first love was graph into the elements of hip hop, or you still keep up with your hand skills, man? You still nice with the pen? You doodling? Oh, snap.
But with reference to what people here are into. And then before that, we did one in Memphis. We did the sound of Memphis. Actually, the city flew me and Damon Lamar Reed out there to paint a humongous mural that tells the story of Memphis and the music and the racism and people standing up for the rights and all that. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So you also gave us a song explaining about past the marker or something. What's the name of that song? Yeah, Griffin. Yep.
Did about graffiti called Playing with Matches, and featured a ton of like the different graffiti heads, from the city, and people abroad like Dime from Germany, and the Artifacts and Binkus Rex, like just people that are in that scene. Yeah.
DjsystemIV is an avid follower of Graph Styles. He posts up a lot of stuff like that, man. Where can we check out some of your styles, some of your paintings and stuff from before, or currently? Yeah. Go on to Instagram. What's your Instagram, man? Drop it.
Me and Mulatto Patriot. But outside of that, you could just go to Netflix or one of your movie choices to watch. Light It Up. I did. That was actually my first big break, like in the late '90s for 20th Century Fox.
Wow.
They based the character roughly around me, and I did like all the graffiti in there, like the murals and stuff.
That's great, man. I didn't even know that. The inside tips we get in inside information from my man Pugz. All right, man. So you just dropped some new music. What was the last project you dropped?
The last project I dropped was with Chris Reed on BBE called Colors of the World, and it featured Taiwan Davis, Simeon Viltz, and Wes Restless, and Juice Amin from the UK, and the rest was just me on the bars, man, and Chris Reed was on all the beats. Yeah, it's like the second time I've ever done an album all with like one producer. So pretty rare. And I that as well on Dinked Records for the song You.
That's what's up, man. Okay, so you do bounce around for a lot of producers, generally, and I noticed like your albums don't, like, you move on from different feels. Like sometimes you boom bap, sometimes you keep it on that up and up, you know. So, this is hip hop.
That's my record specifically. It moved me, and even with the features, a lot of times I'll be like, nah, bro, you know, you should get somebody else for this, because I gotta feel it. It's gotta be genuine. Because I mean, I always look at rapping as I'm one day probably gonna have to say this on stage.
Is there a producer that you've been talking with or thinking about working with that you've been wanting to work with for a while?
Yeah. Right now, working on something with Jeremiah J, man. That's like the guy I've been wanting to work with for some time, but we just never met. You know, it was kind of crazy. Like when I first moved back here from London, he was like one of those people I just randomly ran into, and then from there, you know, we kind of hit it off, and now got something in the works for the people. Yeah.
And speaking of London and UK and Europe, man, I know you got a big following out there. When's the last time you were out there and rocked for them?
It was like maybe about 3 years ago, man. Like I've been chilling right now, man. It's just really been more about like fashion, you know, making the clothes, and then opening stores, and then starting like a line for my son right now. So it's really been playing USA, and then like letting like the painting actually take me to other places, and the clothes take me to other places. So my next visit over there will probably be more for the clothes, but I mean, I'll probably do some shows as well.
And you're speaking, okay, so you're speaking of Iridium clothing.
We only packs a lot of different brands, but like, Iridium is my main focus right now. I'm the creative director of that brand and one of the designers of that brand. And right now we have 3 stores in the city, one in Wicker Park and 2 downtown, you know.
And what kind of style, for the new listeners at Crucial Rhythms, like they're wondering what kind of styles they got, what can they pick up?
Make everything, so everything from, book bags to leather jackets to biker jackets to, puffy vests. I mean, the full gambit of what, could be or should be in your wardrobe. But I mean, we dress everybody from like a Whoopi Goldberg to a Rihanna to like a Chris Brown to, a Vic Mensa to just a regular kid that wants to look fresh.
That's what's up. There was a documentary called Fresh, about dressing. Yeah, fresh dress. Yeah.
A lot of stuff people had no clue.
And how hip hop has influenced so many styles presently, even to this day, they're always retroing.
This is the biggest year, I think, 2017 and 2018 combined are like the biggest years of hip hop fueling fashion. Like all the big design houses, from your Gucci, Louis Vuitton, they're all taking from what the bootlegger made, or what the streetwear brands like Supreme, etc. are doing, and trying to copy that same success, and bringing it to the people. And then also, if you notice, everything looks like super outrageous big logo right now, and that's something that's very prevalent in streetwear, because it's about your brand, your identity.
Most definitely, I know exactly what you're talking about. The big Supreme and streetwear. Definitely, streetwear has a lot of influence in hip hop culture. They run side to side. A lot of.
You want to look good and you want to be dope. You want both things. So you're a breaker. You want to be the sickest breaker, but still look great while you're doing it. So it just seems flawless. It's effortless at that point.
How would you say fashion has changed in hip hop from in a short from the 90s till now?
And it started tight pants, then went to big pants, then went back to tight pants. Now it's like a slim tapered fit. Yeah.
That's right. The slim tapered fit is in. Man. So
It closed right now, man. It's super funny, man. It goes, and just how everything from the 90s is cool now. Cool in the 90s. Yeah.
I noticed Tommy Hilfiger's also making a comeback as well.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like anything from the 90s, from your LA gear to, to even like the North Face pants. That was like some serious, you were in it. You had your North Face jacket, your North Face steep tech pants. Like all that stuff has come back.
What else do you think from the 90s that's come back? Wasn't popular in the 90s?
I mean, like right now, if you hear that, what's her name? Cardi B, the record with her and Bruno Mars. Like that's Living Color, and the sound of it is, from that time as well. And I mean, your Chance the Rappers, him being influenced by Freestyle Fellowship. Like I mean, it's just that things come to be from what was planted in that time. And a lot of those kids now are grown. I mean, they're just regurgitating the things that they saw directly and indirectly.
Yeah, I like that Freestyle Fellowship parallel because I don't feel like they got that Chance the Rapper notoriety. Pioneer on a pioneer. I feel that I could definitely.
And we played a couple songs. How did you enjoy the mix real quick? When you stepped in, you were hearing your music mixed live, and I played a song called Do It. Can you tell us more about that song?
Yeah, Do It was produced by this guy, ABU. He's like a rapper and a producer. And I think he used to be like a pretty sick breaker, man, back in the day.
Yeah, that's our
But
guy.
me and him had been talking because Audacity records there a lot. And he's like, hey, we should do a record. So he sent me that beat, and I was like, man, that's perfect. Like instantaneously, like 20 minutes later, I had a song, and then set up the studio time and did it. But it just felt really good, and like the flow on there to me was like real current with the kind of the vibe that's going right now. So it was just a cool fit, because also that was probably like a beat I probably wouldn't have picked,
That was so fitting because ABU, or Abushai, he's been an artist here on Crucial Rhythms, a big supporter. Big up to ABU. Big up. And
Big up.
And actually we were in the same breaking crew. Yeah. Chicago Skywalkers. Man, dude, he had the sickest head spins, and you had to see it. You had to see it to believe it. Those are facts. And okay, so you played another song. We played another song from you called "Man of the People," and I'm digging that one. That's the car jam for me, man. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time in my career, that was like the song. Like any show I was doing, that was the end of the show record. That song. But that record came from doing a lot of records with We Excel, and they were like a production team from the Northwest side. And all the beats, they had like a nice kick to them, so it just always made me want to just spit like a dope show type deal. But as soon as you hear the horns in that record, it sounds like somebody arrived, open the door, let them in, that kind of thing. So I definitely had to do my thing on it, man. Yeah, We Excel. Yeah, the guys We Excel I was saying, in the beginning. They produced it. Yeah. Larry Pickett was like the main producer. Yeah. Fire. What up, Facebook Live? Yeah. Yo, go to my fan page. You know what I'm saying? Like some pictures. Go to my regular page. Like some pictures. But Sweat right now on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, any place that you play music is there. Bandcamp, all of that. And I just uploaded like all my old albums on Bandcamp, so you can get reacquainted. Meet me again for the first time, or for the first time. Yeah. Pugs Atomz. That's the only way you can spell it. And oftentimes, if you misspell it the other ways, it'll take you to Pugs Atomz, and then somebody will still put it on the flyer wrong. But it's cool. Yeah. He's like, let me look at his record. Everything. Everything is Pugs Atomz since I was, since 93, man. Yep.
money's bad. Make a beat on a track phone, that's skills in hand. Damn, on a track phone, money's bad. Pugs loves slaughtering most. Black around the dough, like burnt toast. And the money don't smell funny like sourdough. Me with my regime, there's no rocks in the flow. I thought you should know. I thought you should know.
For the footage hip hop, I'm stressed out. For the footage hip hop, I'm stressed out. For the footage hip hop, I'm stressed out.
Off my experience, I just really just try to listen to the music and tell me it's right. I was influenced by pretty much from everybody. I mean, I'm able to artists, and I kind of put that into rapping, and I'm on it.
Yeah, we'll have a real good time if you let it go and relax your mind. See, I be Pugs, I handle the rhymes, and the sound is Mr. Pugz with the music on the grind. If you pay attention, you'll be there in no time. If you fight it, there's the tension with the lanes on the side. Playing the ball better than the pantomime.
Hey, close. Can you close the door?
You want to spend time, now feline unwind. Let it go, and she'll walk so fine. Twilight on the table, losing his mind. My second Long Island, I'm sipping this time. My second Long Island, I'm sipping this time. My third Long Island, yeah. We go, get it, moving tonight.
And this one's called All Night, All Right. All Right.
It's gonna be alright, show. Number, hey love, here's mine. Write it down. Get it, moving tonight. I see the name of the time. 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 Yeah.
Hey, think of some questions.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it right now. Yeah.
Me and Intel keep a crowd in line like rollerblades move on the incline. Now you getting free just chilling in the vibe. This a real party where you have a good time. She broke a sweat, but it felt divine. Letting go in Chicago tonight. Feels magical when you're doing it right. Wish I could bottle it and sell it on site. Cause we all trying to get that size. Or we're all trying to get that high. Ladies on the floor with the fellas behind. You only live once, so enjoy that ride. You only live once, so enjoy that ride. You only live once, yo. Yeah, I said we go. Get it, moving tonight. Hey, yo, how you doing? You're into so you know, it's like, hey, yo, how you doing? You're into so you know, it's like, hey, yo, how you doing? You're into so you know, it's like, hey, yo. Be a satellite from a flat tonight. Before I got it in, show I got it in. Who hold the pen? ATOM. And the announcers like the real words tonight. And I'm sounding like kryptonite tonight. Serve a Superman. Watch the words land. Explosion. Overpowering. Stick a bush in the woods. Now she following.
I'm tripping and my ego got me thirsty. I'm illegal for my people, I'm reversing. All of the evil in the music steady cursing. Subliminal spells, I spell a new side of the phone. You can ride it in the trunk out of hell, propelling you to heaven. You sell it in the 7 digits, so exquisite. I'm a bona fide legend, living, digging, vivid. Pictures what I'm painting, flowing liquid, so my scriptures ain't tainted. Blowing your mind with all this fit for your brain. And my glow up on the pop, flow back, still pain.
It's like, hey yo, how you do? Hey! So you know, it's like, hey yo, how you do? You're into so you know, it's like, hey yo, how you do? You're into so you know, it's like, hey yo, how you do? You're into so you know, get into to the classic, rose from the ashes, now I'm in action with the fantastic, trying to go from underground and get it galactic, take no funny bets, money stress like elastic. It's like 100%. Used to duck the police, run and jump to the fence. Now I'm on the console.
That way it sounds better.
Went from the 5 to the 100 in the cosmos, dreaming of shows.
And wherever that camera goes, where's the other camera? Where's the other camera?
I can't stop, no.
Pointing at him. It's low battery now.
Oh, you know what? Here.
Now this the upgrade, you've been upstage on front street,
one needs it.
front row, up close, front page, all huns and bays with lumps, bumps.
Maybe there's a charger on that side better.
Like you're on a dance hall
Maybe
stage.
that side, from that side, you know what I'm saying?
Digress, future is race-tacular, from the spectacular meaning. That's high noon, PCP, high rulers, we ride through, bring the beat with the bass booming.
It's like, hey yo, how you go, blood in the tone, so you know, it's like, hey yo, how you go, blood in the tone, so you know, it's like, hey yo, how you go, blood in the tone, so you know, it's like, hey yo, how you go, blood in the tone, so you
Seeking and yes, they amaze me. You could be the centerfold all in my camera. Sipping on gin and sing, yeah, I got slammed. Oh my man, I ain't wearing my pajamas. She gave a little laugh as the dream went to ash. She said we can get it on, now she gon' take it. She gon' take it. She gon' take it. The night was like a website that charged for the membership. Pressure on back, nails of a fingertip. She gave compliments, even on my membership. It's all I remember. 773 and the rest was on black. Only couple shots. Jack in the blue. Hello. Sunday afternoon. She said we can get it on. Now she gon' take it. She gon' take it. She gon' take it. She said we can get it on. Now she gon' take it. She gon' take it. She gon' take it. I wanna know if you go home. I wanna know if you go home. We can get together, just let me know. We can get together, just let me know. I wanna know if you go home.
We got like 2 minutes on this. Let's let the whole 2 minutes ride.
Just let me know.
Alright, let's set up the camera situation.
Just let me know. I wanna know.
Right here. Put it in him.
Cool, perfect. Alright, perfect.
We can get together, just let me know. We can get together, just let me know.
She off the meat rack with a guy complex, but you got some neat pass. Come down to earth a little, I see your birthmark jiggle. From birth, I make a mark to spit fire out the griddle. Restless with bug, so I'm dipping low. She already giving rhythm, that's before I rock the show. Whoa, what's next? What's N-E-X-T? I'm intrigued by the manifesty. Queen's darlings and plenty sexy. Rockin' rave, I'm already get down. We lyrically parasailing, rhythmically I'm carouseling. Spin you in a circle, spiritually I'll work you. Gotta be a working now, call me say you be a working too. That's what it do with that bug on you, put a thug on you. You was hard to get, now use a bugaboo.
She said we can get it on, now she gon' take it. She gon' take it. She gon' take it. She said we can get it on, now she gon' take it. She gon' take it. She gon' take it.
This one's called Off Switch. The one before that was called Hey Yo. You got the Spencer ready?
It's never gonna happen, what she told me.
Right?
I said that's okay, but girl I'm lonely.
Yeah, now it's already
in
playing.
town for the no check. So it's no strings or attachments. Let your guard down. I'm not a bad man. She started laughing, started to loosen up. She started dancing.
Headphone situations are really right.
She had it moving rough.
Yeah.
I had this package just to see how long that
Recording though.
My
That's good.
now that's
We got
a new
3
record.
recordings.
So I had to brag about it on my new record.
If you think about it,
You're at the edit. We're at the edit.
it's all good. Wherever that camera goes. Crucial Rhythms 88.7 FM. We're back with my man Pugs Atomz. We got into a mix and we played a couple songs. We're gonna run them down. What they were. We started off with Iridium Life, and of course Iridium is the clothing line that you work with. What inspired? I like that beat though. The beat is hot. So tell us about that, man.
Our music did its thing. I mean, it's A-Rap music.
A-Rap.
Right?
Wow. How did that come about? How did you get a beat from A-Rap music?
Well, A-Rap music, man, he's a real big supporter of Iridium, man. And like he had been ordering clothes for some time. And And you know, we just reached out and was just like, hey, you know, Pugs is putting together, you know, I was putting together Iridium Life. It was like a whole mixtape of, you know, everybody from like a Z Money to like a Roy Prince, so both sides of the spectrum or whatever, like the Chicago scene. And you know, he was just like, here's 2 beats, so I rock one, and then my homie Black, he rocked the other one, and then we just put it out, you know? It was just that easy, you know? And everybody was on the same page.
That's what's up. So Iridium Life, we already talked about that. Let's get into the next one, Boombox. And that one is a very 808-ish type beat, man. Tell us about that, man.
And we were asked to remix Boombox by Bass Nectar. So we were just really trying to figure, you know, a way to convey the same feeling, because, you know, Bass Nectar, all his stuff's very up-tempo, but to do it in our way, you know, so it would stand out. And, you know, we definitely accomplished that. I mean, I've definitely performed that song probably at least 1,000 times in my life, man. Yeah.
That's good stuff. And then we got into a song.
Before that, how did you cross paths with DJ Vadim?
That's right.
Vadim, we met in New York, actually. And it was at the time, like me and Sam, we were working together a lot, you know, on throwing shows and marketing promotion for different things. But we both went to the CMJ together. And then I had actually met Vadim's wife, Yara Bravo, at the time. And then Sam had met Vadim. And we were just like, hey, we should all go to dinner. And at that dinner, like, we just really hit it off. And then he invited me to go on tour with him. And we did, I think it was like 45 shows in like 60 days, something crazy like that. And it was just like all around the US and both sides of Canada. And, you know, I did that tour with him, me and Intel and Crush Love and Agent Orange. That was the team that wanted me to do it. And I mean, we made it happen, man. Like that was probably like the most like, is rap worth it, you know, type things. But I mean, all the shows were, you know, the people. But at the end of that tour, he gave me a CD, a beat CD, 12 beats, and I recorded maybe like 4 or 5 of the joints. And then, you know, from there, he invited me out to come to the UK to perform, and then he invited me to go to Russia to perform. And after that, you know, that was just it. You know, we were just at it every day, you know.
How many tours have you done, man?
Too many to count at this point. I mean, to be honest. Just...
Any special places that hold dear to Pugs Atomz?
Yeah, I mean, probably my 2 of my favorite places was probably this place, Cologne in Germany, because it was a record store there, and they had my first tape. And that just blew me, because I didn't even have my first tape at that point, you know, it's right, it was like a wall. And then like, probably when we went to South America, to Sao Paulo, to do the Converse block party, and they had us headline, and it was just like crazy, because like, you know, I really don't speak Portuguese or Spanish at all, you know, that was just like, people from, you know, Brazil, etc. And it was just like the love they showed. And I mean, also I got to stay there for like a week and just really embrace the culture, take in the culture, and meet a lot of, you know, the graffiti writers, and, you know, just, you know, enjoy it.
That's what's up. Yo, the time is 11:01 in the house. Pugs Atomz, Epik1, System 4. We got some more singles, more songs we're gonna run through. It's crucial, man.
It's crucial.
It's crucial.
We gotta get somebody to do that. Yo, so check us out. If you got any questions for Pugs, give us a call. 773-508-9589 is the number to call. All right, so back to the stuff I mixed. We talked about Boombox, and then you have Brian Food or Brain Food with
the producer of the record, and it was for his that he put out for the future of hip hop, and that was the lead single with me and Killer Priest.
That's right, Killer Priest from Wu-Tang and Sons of Man. How did that come about, you working with Killer Priest?
Brian Ford, like at the time, he was doing a night, like I think it was like once a month, every 2 months, where he would get one rapper and he would get a band around all your records, and you guys would play live. So I think Tree had just done it before me, and then, you know, he asked me to do it, and I went to like, I think maybe the second rehearsal, and it was a dude standing in the corner looking like security, and it was him. It was Killer Priest. It was super random. So I was just like, whoa, hey, what's up, bro? You know? So I mean, that track, we actually did it that night. So like we finished rehearsing for the show and then jumped right in the booth and knocked out that record.
Is there any other members of Wu-Tang that you remember having memories of doing a single with that stand out?
I mean, for me, that's the beginning and the end of my Wu-Tang songs. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm more like a producer guy.
Last
There's a lot of different producers I've done records with, you know,
You say
in that
it,
sense.
and then you play
But I will tell you a trippy story, man. My first date and my first rap concert was Wu-Tang at Operation Push. And that show was so crazy because like they threw bottles at people on stage, off stage.
Diggity clown.
You know, he climbed to the stage and I think Ghostface threw a cigarette at him. And then they put him on some hand sign, and then it was just show over gunshots, and like it was like I think Inspector Deck slid across the hood like he Dukes of Hazzard. That was like the livest first date ever.
At the end of the date, did you say, "But I diggity love you"?
I said protect your neck.
Protect your neck. Oh man, the memories. Hip hop shows ain't what they used to be, man. You had to.
In that time, you gotta think about like between the ages of like, 17 to like 27, like everything is still new to you. So like the music that you listen to was part of your everything, you know? That's why, when you play an older record now, those memories, those smells come back to you, you know? You go to a Gold Link show, that boy's crazy, you know? I mean, to go to Big Mr. Chance, all them guys, man, on stage, they do it. They do.
Good stuff.
And then we get into All Right.
We got into the song All Right. Grant Parks.
The second song me and him recorded, so like by the time that song came out, it was probably like 3 years old. But that was the one, man. Like, everybody from like an Andrew Barber to an All Right to, a lot of sites really roll with that record, and a lot of DJs really roll with that record.
Off switch.
That was smacking.
That's what's up, man. And we played Off Switch as well. That song, tell us about that.
Switch was, I think it was one of the guys from the Pacifics produced it, if I'm not mistaken. And then like Wes, he just had that beat, and we were just at his crib kicking it, like me, Ray Simeon, and he played that. We was like, we're gonna make a song on that, bro. But that whole record was like, it was a party. We were kicking it, man. It was a good time.
I really, I'm like old school hip hop dinosaur. I like my boom bap. You know what I'm saying? So, dinosaurs. We're extinct. There's a lot of good boom bap coming out, man. It is, and I like it. And then it'll switch back.
I want it like that. It's boom bap.
Like that, son. So, but your stuff, man, it gets me in a good mood. It's good music for like, you know what I'm saying? Recently, because I know I picked up some of your early tapes. Man, what was the first projects? Tell us about your first projects, man. The ones you dropped on cassette tape, man, that nobody knows about, man.
Record, that's at the time my name was MC Clue, and I was just writing Pugsley. So that was the first jump off, and I think it was like maybe 8 songs. And I just passed it around the school. One copy, all recorded on like my pop's like stereo karaoke thing or whatever. But one of my friend's parents recited one of the songs to me, and that was at the point. I was like, I'm making records.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
That invention that rhyming, man. Like, I mean, those were like the two Pugs things. But with Acrobats, we had probably like 4 tapes.
The Acrobat tapes, I remember those, man.
All the plays.
And where did you first start distributing your music? Gramophones?
I think Dr. Wax was probably the first place, just because that's, that was a record store I grew up with, and that was the closest record store to me that I knew I could put like music in. But as I grew, like Gramophone became like a place where I learned a lot about business, just because watching PNS, and then they passed it to Prime, and etc. I just got to learn a lot about the behind the scenes stuff. record, and then, you know, getting credit. Like, oh, I used to love that, man. Like, you drop off your tape or your CDs or whatever, and then you get the cash up front. That was an awesome time.
And how many vinyl pieces you got out now?
Right now, as like just solely Pugs Atomz stuff, is like, I think maybe 6, and then as far as like on other people's stuff, probably like 20, 25, something like that. Yeah.
That's good work, man. And what's next? What's next for Pugs Atomz?
Right now, you know, just promoting the single Sweat. The video should come out in a few weeks. It's directed by Epik1 and myself, and Mulatto Patriots, like, on the beat. And then we're gonna release an album from that, and probably gonna call it Highly Irregular. And you can check highlyirregular.life if you want to, you know, check in, hear the music, and just follow the progress of the project. But excited to present this year because it's using like all my skill sets, you know, from clothing to music to painting, etc. And really got to work with a lot of people I respect, and also a lot of my friends, you know, at the same time. So it's like a family project, you know, with musicians, you know, rappers, singers, and, you know, other people that, you know, to make it a great thing. Outside of that though, you could go to usue.threadless. I'm pushing a lot of like t-shirts, hoodies out of there, and it's kind of all based around like my son, and then based around like the music. So a lot of album cover artwork and just other ideas for videos that we use, you know, for that 2 seconds, have a whole life is like a t-shirt and that kind of thing. And then Iridium, you know, I don't know, man. At this point, we might pop out another store in some other city, man, because it's rolling, you know. You know, probably a tour as well this summer. Just a record. Stuff, man. That's all I'm gonna say though.
A lot of exclusive stuff coming out. And I also got the honor of mixing another song called Hell Yeah.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all. I can't, my man's handwriting right here. I thought it said hot dog for a second, dude. Man, son.
And at that point, like Mulatto's crib, he was living like on the edge of Oak Park in the city, some other side of the city. I forget what it's called, his area over there. But his place just had everybody. So it'd be like Prime Meridian, it'd be Hadi, nice. It'll be Neek, it'll be, you know, a lot of his guys that was on the rap stuff as well, and just other random artists. And that was like one of those sessions where everybody was just in there and, you know, jumped on the track.
Cities that you're thinking about traveling to or touring, doing a show in up and coming?
Like, you know, London, Germany, and all of that. But I mean, first, like, I'm really trying to figure out other places in the States that I might not have ever went to, and, you know, try that out in like a pop-up and a performance type thing. But you know, just hitting all the places that want to hear it. Really, I mean, that's always how it's going for me, man. Like when they hit the inbox, I am there, you know. But yeah, it'll be a proper tour.
That's what's up. And then as far as Iridium and building this brand, is there any brands that like that you yourself have been like pretty loyal to and expressing yourself through fashion?
Well, I mean, you know, I was always like a Ralph Lauren guy when I first really got into hip hop. So I mean, that's what people equated with me, you know, that brand and that kind of thing. And, you know, from there, I kind of went to like the Benetton stuff. And, you know, when I was designing with Afro wear, I was really heavy into that brand. But at this point, man, it's just really just what I like. It's no real, you know, just what drives me. And sometimes that could be like some free t-shirt, you know, at a truck rally or something like that, or, you know, a hockey jersey from, you know, a team in Sweden or something like that, you know, just more about the design of it, you know, as I've started to make, you know, a lot more clothing items.
And then one other thing, do you feel like you mix in your own clothing brand when you're dressing or when you're going out?
Anything I'm into, it's all day. I mean, right now, the sweatshirts, Iridium, the hats, USUE, and the jeans are Ralph Lauren. It's always dress code, man.
You talked about the shoe. Me and System 4 like to break it down, you know, with the shoe game, man. top shoes for you, man. Top sneakers for you, my man.
Super off the grid. Like I'm really just into a lot of the fila stuff that's released in like Korea and Japan. And then Diodora, a lot of like the old basketball shoes. And then Mephisto, because that's like a super comfortable shoe. And you can send it back, they stitch it back up, you know, kind of like Clark's. Super off, but as far as in general, just shoes I thought were really dope. Like a lot of the off-white Nike collab was really cool. And then a lot of the Adidas NMDs, the Pharrell, you know, collab was
yeah,
was
the
pretty
Humans,
dope.
you seen those? Yeah, those sound like a lot of comfortable shoes, especially the ones you mentioned, the Mephisto, man. Wow, good. Yeah, that's good, man. You didn't go for the hype stuff. You went straight for the stuff Pugs likes.
I mean, that's you know, I think when you get into sneakers, you have your first like, I'll just buy any sneaker that looks cool. Then you get into like, whatever's the hottest shoes, you know, what I'm gonna wear. Because I mean, like in the dunk time, every dunk, I was in it, man. That was all it was really about, you know. But you just gotta stick with what works for you. And then, you know, we all have our moods, you know. Like tomorrow I might wake up like, no more feel out, done.
I remember Fila, man, growing up. That was the hot shoe, and then it just disappeared, and now it's making a comeback. What's that? It's the 90s, man. How about Z Cavaricci's? That was in the 90s.
Cross colors. Yeah.
Z Cavaricci's, hammer pants.
Jabos.
Yeah, they do.
It's true.
It's kind of like the time it takes. Because like Fila was on the rise in London for some time. And then here we finally, you know, when they did the urban outfits and forced it upon us.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. We can stay here talking about, you know, hip hop fashion. I got some more music from you, and I'm gonna play Winners. And it... Gotta get the decade in. So definitely, let's hit this off. Tell us a little bit about Winners and Tears in Your Eye. Going back to the times, we're archiving over here. I had a lot of your stuff. Man. Hey Pugs, if people want to find your early release, like stuff that you did with Nacrobats, how can they find all that stuff? Bandcamp?
Yeah, go to my Bandcamp, Pugs Atomz. Bandcamp.
I need that stuff, man. I had the cassettes. I remember the CDs, all that stuff, man. You had it all.
You can buy it all again, bro.
They got lost somewhere in the basement. Everything's gone. What do you think about CDs, man? Are they still pushing? Do you still push CDs, or now?
I mean, I'm an artist where it's like I bring everything out, man, and I'm always surprised every time I do a show, man. I sell CDs, I sell jump drives, I sell recorders, I sell everything, man.
So you have it on every platform, jump drive, CD.
You know, some people want to feel it, some people want to touch it, some people like CD booklet, other people like vinyl, other people just like, bro, I'll just play it on Spotify. You know, everybody has the way they intake music, so I just try to be aware and present, you know, always. So nobody leaves.
Nobody.
And Tear in Your Eye?
Tear in Your Eye, that's kind of a response on the beat, man. Like, he's like a sick producer, engineer, like conversation with the community. He recorded all of that and produced like probably 70% of it. You know, he's part of Blended Babies now, and you know, he's working with a lot of different singers and rappers out in LA. But Tear in Your Eye, man, that was like a real nostalgic song about the scene in general. You know, everybody's kind of, you love hip hop, then you're like, damn, what happened, man? I missed those years and that kind of thing. So it just really, the video detailed kind of like a date with your memory. So we're like in Hyde Park, going through a lot of places where a lot of the hip hop.
That's what's up. Let's get into it. People want to hear this. Crucial Rhythms. The time is 11:17, and you're listening to 88.7 WLUW. This is the Chicago Sound Alliance, and we're broadcasting from the campus of Loyola University. I'm gonna get into these songs, and then we're gonna come back with some questions for Pugs Atomz, and then we're gonna finish up the mix, part 3 for the Crucial Artist compilation. Ready for this, DJ System 4?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do this.
Still getting mine in the 2. Let's go. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright. Now I've been on it, ready for it, sun just starts to shine. Gray clouds moving, lost confusion, that was in my life. Big picture clearer, y'all should cheer us, we've been on the grind. This life we living, you can't pause it, you can't press rewind. Knock that stress off my shoulder, and I'm feeling so bolder. And I'm talking to the people. Papa squatting, come on over. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright. I feel like I'm winning this year, this time, and we gon' be alright.
I know that this is my year and it's best this way. The best day to hear bad news? Yesterday. Like a feather is fly, I'm forever NY. All week on any day that is ended in Y. Sayonara to the past, is it ever goodbye? Tomorrow is now, no more shoulda, woulda, could I. The ifs and the ands and the buts don't apply. Married to the game, to the wind she could cry. That's a reference to Hendrix. My drive is endless. To name your top 5 stupendous, cause I'm feeling it's the only way. I know what's happening this year, it's only May. I thank God for the talent I'm blessed with. The trials and the tribulations, never stressed it. And yeah, I guessed it, your words was